Is it hot down there?
Yeah, it's in the 90s.
Yeah, I saw Kimmel out on the sidewalk yesterday spraying people with a hose. I said, Jimmy, I hate to. Well, he had his buddy out there doing it. And I was almost like, nothing. But Letterman was doing this like 20 years ago, you know?
Yeah.
To have the hose that was up on the marquee at the Ed Sullivan Theater. And as
Right.
people would walk by, you just turn on the hose. You turn on the camera and turn on the hose, and people would be looking all over the place. And that was funny. Jimmy had, what's his name out there? Asking him if he could spray him first. Guillermo. Asking him if he could spray him first. I said, that's no.
That's the LA style. New York style, you just spray them.
The whole thing is that you don't ask it. You just spray him. But, well, you know, that's why he's making a big buck. And I'm struggling to keep us on the air. We are live. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. He's Michael Knight. I'm New York Vinnie. It's Mikey and Vinnie take on the world for a Friday, a Freaky Fractious Friday.
It's a Freaky Fractious Friday, indeed.
Yeah, especially if you're a United States service person, a soldier,
or just an American anywhere in the world.
Yeah, really, you just got to be an American. But especially if you're a soldier, because you got no choice. If you're a real American anywhere in the world, you can get on a plane or get an overland or something. This car I'm driving this week that I'll show you a little bit later. You could rent one of these somewhere in Bahrain or something, or Addis Ababa, or Duty Wap Wap, and which is the second city in Slovakia. Not a lot of people know about.
It's a nice place. They're really attention to detail, and a lot of thought has gone into the Duty Wap Wap structure.
Right. Yes. As a matter of fact, Slovakia announced this morning, I don't know if you caught this, Michael, that they would be joining the United States of America in their effort in the Mideast. They are sending one soldier.
Well, they were going to send a sailor, but they don't have a Navy.
Well, no, they have a Navy, but they need the sailor. Somebody has to keep the straits open.
That's the problem. It sounds so easy.
Right. They have a straits there, too. People don't talk about it. Again, nobody talks about the Straits of Jacket, which keeps the people, keeps the mineral oil and the castor oil flowing in Slovakia.
I thought that Slovakia was landlocked with no coastline.
Well, it is, but they have a straits.
They have a strait somewhere.
Well, they said if the Iranians can have a strait, we can have a strait too. So if you go out 66 or 66A, certain number of miles. They don't have mile markers in Slovakia.
You eventually come to what, though? I mean,
you come to a bridge, and that bridge goes over a waterway, and that waterway curves like this, and that's the Straits of Jacket.
Do the nations of the world send their oil shipments through the Straits of Jacket?
Mineral and castor.
Wow.
Yeah, if you go to the drugstore at some point soon and you ask for a bottle of castor oil and it's 2 or 3 or 4 times the price of what it was the last time you asked for it in 1948.
That's Donald Trump's fault.
Well, he asked all the countries in the world to help him. And so far, Slovakia is the only country that has said, we'll help you.
Yeah, this is filed under be careful what you ask for.
No. I mean, I think the Slovakia military is quite capable.
No.
I think they are, bar none, one of the best militaries in their part of the world.
No. No, that can't be right, Vin.
When's the last time you heard about Slovakia getting into war?
Well, they don't actually engage in war, but they don't engage in war preparation. They don't engage in the army. The Slovakian army doesn't have boots. They don't have green underwear.
They put slippers on the ground. Okay,
that's more like it.
They put slippers on the ground, but that's because they're a peace-loving nation.
But get them talking about Karg Island, and you've got a whole nother situation on your hands.
That's above Slovakia's pay grade. First of all, who is Karg, and why does he have an island? What planet is Karg from?
He was a morning man at a country station in Seattle.
Yeah, we have too many country stations in Seattle. We got 3 of them.
That's a well-known problem in the industry. You know what they need in Seattle is a 4th country radio station.
Don't say that too loud, because there'll be some nitwit that'll be, that will say to himself, gee, I got to justify this big salary that these people just gave me here at Schmucker's Broadcasting. So let's put a 4th country station on the air, because I'll have the pleasure of firing everybody on it in 6 months.
I'm telling you, the 4th station is the answer. We can put everything into focus, and the market will descend into predictability.
Well, what format would you put this 4th station on?
Country.
But new country, old country, why country 2000, Willie Nelson country,
full spectrum country.
Which country's country? I mean, we're not the only nation that has. I mean, we think we have the only of everything, but we're finding out in this world that we don't have the only of everything.
We are not the end all and be all.
We're not the only, as Roy Orbison might sing. Only the only. I mean, there's other people that have figured out that they can do the things that we do cheaper. At least cheaper. Some cases better. Because,
we're not being judged right now on how good we do our military incursions.
Excursions. Not excursions.
Yes.
Excursions.
I stand corrected. Good.
We have a fucking idiot for a president that calls it an excursion.
If you saw him yesterday with the Japanese prime minister, you know exactly what kind of fucking idiot we have.
Oh, no, this guy. There's a podcast that I watch often called, what is it? Who is this fucking guy? It's 2 women that do this podcast. And I love it, because their whole gist of the podcast is who is this fucking guy? And they bring on fucking guys, people who've earned that title of who is this fucking guy? And yes, I mean, if you didn't cringe watching that yesterday.
Unbelievable, beyond belief, beyond any measure of lunacy. This guy is there. And if you are a 30% Republican who supports him in all his works, may the devil take you.
I mean, how do you even justify looking at this guy? I don't know. I say that, and when I saw that yesterday, I was absolutely and immediately taken back to 2001, was it? 2001. And it was opening day in Seattle. And it was Ichiro's first appearance in Seattle. And I was walking from the elevators to the broadcast booth. And as I walked from the elevator to the broadcast booth, I came upon this woman who looked like she might have been from Pierce County. Okay, so I'll put it at that. And she had a headband on, and now this is Ichiro's debut in Seattle. And the headband says in handwritten letters, "Remember Pearl Harbor." And I just looked at this woman. I didn't say anything, but I just thought, you unfortunate bitch. You unfortunate bitch. What and I was almost moved to say something, but I was like, anything. There's nothing I was going to say to this woman that was going to change her mind. If you were stupid enough to wear something like that on your head.
Did she ever do it again? Did she become infamous for her anti-Japanese stance?
I don't know. Luckily, I can't say that I ever saw her again. She did get a mention on the show that evening. I did mention that on the post game show, and I just but I just and listen. I can understand if you had somebody who was killed in World War II, and that you would have hard feelings about things. I don't take any of that pain away from somebody, but this is 2001. That hostility has been over for years. We've obviously forgiven those people. They've forgiven us. We're we've been buying goods from Japan. We've treated them as a friendly country. We've economically helped rebuild them. They have economically helped rebuild us. I mean, it's a partnership that of all the partnerships that we have gotten into in all of the countries that we have destroyed in this world, this is the one that you can point to and say, well, we have some redeeming value.
We are allies. We're neighbors and allies and friends.
Right. We're friends. We're neighbors. We had a big neighborly argument, and we fought it out, and we got past it. And we don't think about each other that way anymore, except for this woman, excuse me, who, wherever she was from. And I said to myself that was probably one of the stupidest things I've seen since the 60s. Because if you remember back in the 60s, there were a lot of veterans that fought, that were still alive, that, didn't drop that grudge.
Right.
There were people that saw the horrors of war, and they weren't going to give it up so fast.
They were still fighting.
Or they had seen something that was so profoundly disturbing that they couldn't give it up. Maybe they weren't fighting, but they couldn't get past what they experienced.
They couldn't get past Iwo Jima.
Yeah, they couldn't get past Iwo Jima. They couldn't get past Pearl Harbor. They couldn't get past losing a brother, an uncle, a friend, somebody. There's people like that. And then, of course, to add to it, there was a racial component in it. It was an easy enemy because it was an identifiable enemy. The Germans weren't so easy to hate because they looked like us. The Japanese were pretty easy to hate because you could pick them out of a crowd. So it must be comforting for some people to know that the president of the United States, I almost said our president. He's really not my president. He runs my country, but he's not
Unfortunately,
my president.
there's no brakes. There's no one that can stop him. There's no vote that can turn him back. Occasionally, a court case is settled and we get a leg up. But what the most frustrating thing about the Trump time is that there is no checks and balance in place. The Republicans in Congress are children being led by the nose by a evil teacher, an evil professor, an evil leader, and he's got them convinced that he's got the answers. And for 30% of them, it's never going to change. For the rest of us, we're just suffering. We can't win. We can't stop him. We can't put the brakes on. It's fascinating that this perfect storm has hit our country, and the founding fathers had nothing to say about this type of leader in this type of scenario. They never thought of it. They never imagined it. They made no provisions for it, and we are fucked as a result of it.
They thought they I guess in their wildest dreams, they just never thought that something approaching this would happen. I guess they must have figured that things would be good in this country and we would have it so good in this country that who would want to screw this up?
But they knew that the balance of power was not to be messed with. That there was a matter of the seesaw going back and forth to test the structure of the government. But they never imagined this, and they never provided for it, and they've left us without a means to correct course. It's fascinating, but it's ugly too. It's ugly how wide open we are to the negative effects of a hostile leader, a demonic, perpetually ignorant shit that he is.
Well, it's funny, Michael, because I think they did leave us the means, but they thought that we would have enough respect for the democracy, for the country that we lived in, that we would have it so good here, that we would have such a unique thing going here, that we would want to do everything in the world to preserve it, that the power of one would not override the power of many.
Well, they were wrong. They were damn wrong. They never thought that there would be an evil leader whose destruction of the nation was his goal, to destroy the law, to destroy the rules, to destroy the allies, to destroy everything, to give Russia whatever it needs, to flood them with opportunity to take over our country, to destroy the structure of government, and to give Russia a leg up that it's never had. And that's exactly what we've got. We've got someone who works on behalf of the Russian people and the Russian army and the Russian secretive, the NKVD. All the negative elements of Russia are multiplied by Trump and structured to allow him to help them. And nothing on this earth has been able to turn them back. Nothing. It's fascinating that he's bulletproof beyond belief. And there's no means available to us to turn the tide. We are fucked.
Well, the means are there. The problem is that the men and women who put the means into effect don't want to use them. I mean, if people abided by the law, if there was a respect for law and order in this among these people, it could be fixed. It could have been fixed, years ago. But we're a society that is out for ourselves. We're a society that thinks instead of out of many, one, we think out of one bigger. one fatter, one richer, one more disgusting than the other one. And that's where we're at. There's none of these people who have attained power. No, I won't say none of them. That's not right. Enough people who have attained power have no respect for the people who put them there, have no respect for the people that write these laws, have no sense of collaboration, have nothing. All they are worried about is that they hold on to their little piece of power as long as they can and by however means possible. And it will, I think, eventually destroy this country.
The concept of self-government has been slashed to the bone, and the Congress has abdicated its role as checks and balances. And until they reclaim that, we haven't got a prayer. We cannot proceed. We cannot evolve. We cannot better ourselves. We cannot course correct. And it's a damn shame because we've never needed it more than we did today and tomorrow and the next day. The future is grim, and the tragedy that courts the history of this country is strong right now.
Well, yeah, Michael, we've gotten ourselves into a jam. It's a jam of our own making. It's nothing that any enemy has done to us. This is on us. What you're seeing in front of you is of our own making.
Yep.
And we've allowed the wrong people to get in power, and we've been too lazy, or many people have been too lazy to do anything about it. Because they were just comfortable enough. Or they saw that one thing that wise men will try to talk to us about again and again and again, and that is revenge, and how it corrupts, how it destroys, how it makes, taints, spoils everything. When you have revenge on your mind, when your sole mission is to get even with somebody for a slight perceived or real, you lose all sight of everything else. And this man who has been elected the president of this country is all about nothing but revenge. He is all about getting even with people for things that didn't even happen.
Mix into that, he's a sociopath, a pathological liar, and a miserable son of a bitch whose misery he needs to transfer to his nation and his people and his advisors and his supporters and his futurists who think that God somehow sent this demon to us to lead us out of the wilderness. It's fascinating and heartbreaking.
Well, did you see Hegseth's little speech yesterday?
Yes, Archbishop Hegseth.
About how Jesus Christ, we're doing this for Jesus Christ. Does he know that Jesus Christ wouldn't take a piss on him?
He might urinate on him.
I don't know. I don't know, Michael. I mean, I think Jesus would do a lot of things. Um, he would wash the feet of people that didn't agree with him. He would forgive the people that went up against him. He would try to calm their pain. Um, he would do a lot of things that I don't know that I would ever have it in me to do. I don't know if he'd piss on Pete Hegseth. He might consider that to be just a little too. He wouldn't want to waste his piss. So get on your knees and pray for the soldiers to Jesus Christ. So what do the people who don't pray to Jesus Christ do?
They
A
pound
lot of people
sand.
in this country don't pray to Jesus Christ. I don't know if they know that or not.
He's not interested in them. I'm not interested in them at all.
What do these people do? Are they just are those the people he wants to get out of the country? Maybe those are next. Maybe those are the people that after they get the all the Latinos they can out of the country, who by and large pray to Jesus Christ. Maybe he wants to get those people out next.
I don't know that the message from Roman Catholics, as interpreted by their new Pope, Pope Leo the 14th, have a position that stands between reality and Trump. Don't be evil. Don't be angry. Don't be dismissive of the structure of life the way that Trump is. And don't be so incompetent. He can't work these tariffs. He can't work the straits. He can't work the munitions that this country has. He can't organize anything. And the people around him have lost their ability. Our generals, what kind of a plan did the generals put together? It's pathetic. It makes no sense. Makes no military goals possible. And they want $200 billion more so they can what? So they can what? What are they going to do with that money? What are they going to spend it on that's vital right now to our national interests?
Lobster tails.
They can't come up with any plan that serves the goals of the presidency. They think that another $200 million will just make it easier for them to drive Jeeps around. Let's move some stuff. Let's move a bunch of stuff. Let's put it on planes and fly it in, unload it, and stack it around on the runway. Let's bring in some equipment. Let's bring in lots of it. And if we don't have it, we'll buy more. We're going to have $200 billion in cash. And then when the Congress asked us what we did, we just said, well, we flooded the zone. We bought missiles. We bought planes. We bought more ships. We got the strait open. We did our business. Now it's up to you to pay us for it. And we're as incompetent as the president. We're as useless as he is. We can't get organized. We can't get focused. We can't produce the result that he wants. We got nothing.
Well, where are these? A couple of things that come to my mind. And listen, I have respect for our military. I think they have a tough job. I think they're in a tough position.
Yeah,
but
acquiescing to everything that Trump wants and pretending that they're in charge. That's their tough position.
Where is where is this stuff coming from? Where are we building all of this stuff? Where are we manufacturing all of this stuff? It's not in the United States. Where were if you go back and you look at World War II and you think about, okay, well, we got ourselves into a war. Now, what do we do with that war? We're going to need some stuff to fight that war. Going to need some uniforms. Got to be able to tell the good guys from the bad guys. Going to have to give everybody a gun. Somewhere we got to come up with guns, boots.
Yep.
That's where that phrase "boots on the ground" comes from. Where does all of this stuff come from, Michael? Does it come from the United States of America?
I don't know where we make our munitions.
Do we make it here? Or is it made somewhere else? Or the factories that produce the airplanes and the ships and all of the things that we needed to prosecute a war, is it made here anymore? It was in 1941. But you look at those factories now, and they're not there anymore. Those people that developed that stuff have grown old and died, and we now have young people that know how to play video games. Where are you going to build the stuff? Are the Japanese or the Koreans going to send it over?
Raytheon is working on it somewhere in Long Beach, making missiles.
I don't know. I wonder where all of this stuff is going to come from. I wonder who's going to make it. I wonder where it's going to be made. Where are you going to make $200 billion worth of stuff? You don't even make the car parts here. You got to go to Canada. I'm not the smartest guy in the world, man, but I know that the whole idea of this country coming together and putting up factories in 2 weeks to put up this and that and start producing this and that and the other thing. We couldn't produce masks. We couldn't produce this. In 2 weeks, when we found out that a mask was a pretty good way to protect yourself from transmitting a disease that could kill your neighbor. We couldn't produce a piece of paper with 2 strings on it. So, anyway, have you watched any of the March Madness stuff?
I haven't yet. I haven't.
It's, I mean, as I said to somebody last night, the March Madness this year is in Iran.
Right. And they're not playing that well.
Yes, and they're not as into it as many people think they should be. I don't know. I just think it's just going to be. It's funny because I don't, and I've said this all year about college sports. I don't have the same feeling for it this year. Haven't really for the last couple of years, but there's nothing that really there's this tournament. I mean, it's there and I'll watch it, but I didn't. When you don't watch it all year, you don't have a passion for a conference or a team. Or I'm not passionate about Gonzaga. I'm not passionate about Kentucky, who's getting beat right now by Santa Clara.
What happened with Miami and Missouri? Did the Hurricanes win that?
Let's see. Let me see if I could.
Did they play yet?
I don't even know if they. Let's see. Is it Queens College? Wow. Furman, Missouri and Miami. 7:10 tonight on True TV. Yeah, I just. I mean, I'll pay a lot more attention to it when it gets down to the the end of this weekend. Maybe even tomorrow. Maybe the Saturday round. I'll probably pay a little bit more attention to it. But I don't know, and I don't know if it's just. I mean, I'm excited for the baseball season to start. But I just don't have a lot of. I can't say that I have a ton of enthusiasm about basketball. The Sonics decision is coming up here next week. I think the 24th, if I'm not mistaken, is when the NBA's Board of Governors get together. And you know what happens when those guys get together, Michael.
Party.
They locked themselves in. It ain't been the same since David Stern left. Adam Silver is not the host that David Stern was. But and I've heard everything from Seattle's a shoo-in to Vegas is a shoo-in to pick the top 5 cities that do not have a basketball team. They're a shoo-in. What's the other one I hear? Kansas City.
That's a good choice.
Is one that you hear about. So I don't know. Most people here think that the Sonics are going to come back. Think that they're going to announce that Seattle gets an expansion team, which will be the Sonics, which will have all of the Sonics stuff transferred over to, except probably the current World Championship trophy, which has nothing to do with the Sonics.
Oklahoma City.
The Oklahoma City trophy. They'll probably keep that there, and as well they should. But all of the stuff, the file cabinets, Frank Furtado's pants.
Let's leave them where they are.
The
George Karl's loafers as he slips on the polished floor, trying to making his entrance into the fray, ready to go throw down.
Ready to lock heels with somebody. All of that stuff is in a garage, from what I understand, somewhere on the east side. I don't even know that anybody remembers the combination to the lock.
Delvoid.
I don't know that. Who was the really nice guy who was the equipment? Oh, Mark St. Ives. Remember Mark St. Ives?
Mm-hmm.
Nice young guy that was the equipment manager. Boy, his kids. I mean, he has 2 young kids, I believe. I mean, I think they got to be like they're 40 now, right? Something like that. They're going to, I think when people hear the price of what it's going to cost to
play ball,
to get into this league, what the owners want from the league, it's going to be, it's going to turn. I mean, all you have to do is some simple math to figure out what they're going to have to charge for tickets.
So what does the league do with all that money that they request from the new owners to buy into the league? The $2 billion, $3 billion, $4 billion buy-in fee. Where does it go? Do we get sandwiches and drinks for everybody?
I think they do, and I think a large part of it goes to David Stern, um, even though he can't really use it. It still goes to him. It's like that. It's like the what's that team? The St. Louis, whatever. I forget the name of the team. The St. Louis Spirit, which gets a check every year for a few $1,000,000 from the NBA as part of their settlement with the NBA, because they stuck it out. They stayed in the fray long enough for them to get a settlement.
Get a Bobby Bonilla clause.
They have the basketball equivalent of the Bobby Bonilla, except Bobby's will end someday.
Don't be so sure.
From what I understand, the payment to the St. Louis, the Spirit of St. Louis, is in perpetuity. The heirs of the people that get it now will get it
until
forever and ever, until the country is taken over by a bunch of Serbo-Croatians. So I just think that a lot of people here in Seattle are in for a rude awakening. I mean, it's a big party and everybody's excited and people are jumping up and down, and people that have been on the committee and the board and the head of and the volunteers and brought the coffee and the cookies and the
who's going to be the owner, though? Who will be the owner?
Well, it's a good question. You see, there's another little problem with the who's going to be the owner. There's another team that's looking for some money right now among the people who have the means to buy these types of teams. And those are the Seattle Seahawks. They are up for sale. And many of the people who would normally probably be interested in buying a franchise, putting a group together, because very rarely do you go and just lay that gelt out. You got to ask a few people, hey, meet me down here, and I got a proposition for you. It's not Amway, so don't worry. And they come and they meet you, and you tell them I want $200 million to start
the 200 million is the same that the Army wants to fight in the Middle East.
I think theirs is billion.
Correct.
Yeah, I think theirs is billion. I think the Army's looking for a little more. But
well, then the NBA should ask for $200 billion too.
Well, don't give them any ideas. Anyway, so anybody who might want to do something like that is now thinking to himself, well, do I want to buy the Seahawks for $700 million or $600, whatever the price tag is? Steve Ballmer's name comes up many, many times in that conversation.
He knows how to own sports teams.
Yeah. Or do I want to own an expansion franchise that might take a couple of years to get going?
Well, the NBA is more cost efficient because you have a smaller team that makes a lot of money. You don't have to carry all those contracts that football does.
Right. Well, but football doesn't. I mean, reality is football has that clause where you can get out of those contracts pretty quickly.
You still got to pay 40 guys.
But you still got to pay more than that. I mean, you got 53 on a roster, right? Plus, you have to buy gas for the jet.
By the way, I fueled up yesterday. Last time I bought gas, it was $4.99. Now it's $5.33.
That's not bad, Michael.
It's not $5.33 today, though. It's gone up.
Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, on the corner Shell station, I believe last night I was looking at 560, and just north of 650 for diesel.
Mhm.
I think diesel fuel. I think both fuels will be north of $7 by 4th of July. I don't see any way around that.
I think sooner because there's no means of production to catch up on what
Yeah,
shortages
I
we're
gave myself a
experiencing.
good cushion. Had a good conversation with a guy that will obviously be the guest on the Drive Time radio show tomorrow. Yesterday, Ray Shefska from Car Edge, and we were, just he's an old time car guy, and we just sit around and talk about the business of cars. He has a website that if you want to buy a car, you can go there, and he has tons of data. His son is a data freak, so he compiles all these different data points about buying cars. And we were talking about the mistake of killing the or doing everything you could to kill the electric car um, over the past year or so.
Another thrilling conclusion would come to the world through Donald Trump's mind,
Right. Just like he's killed the vaccine for measles.
like he's trying to kill the ability to vote for Americans.
Like he's trying to kill every young American between 18 and 34.
Let them die.
Anyway, and he's of the belief that number one, don't think you'll escape it by buying an electric car because electric cars are going to go up in price now with all of this because of the appeal of you can buy one for less money because they're not seen as a desirable car, and gasoline has gone up so much. But that's not going to last long because people are going to catch on to the fact pretty quickly that it only costs you $15 to get your 300 or 400 miles out of an electric car, where if you try to do that with a gasoline car, it will run you, certainly run you north of 75 to $100 right now.
Mhm.
So there's much to be figured out there.
More evil times to come.
Well, yeah. Well, it would not be a bad idea for people in this country to wake the fuck up and do what they got to do to make sure that this guy or the Republicans do not get returned to any positions of power in the next upcoming election that will be happening here. Primaries happening as we go
So
along.
we can show the door to Pete Hegseth and the
So we could put them in jail, preferably.
the entire clown car cabinet.
Yeah, I'd love to see these people put in jail for doing what they've done.
Having intelligence that they don't share with the president, having intelligence that they don't act on, destroying the very structure of our intelligence community, siding with Russia whenever we can. It's one of the strangest episodes in all of history. You can't find anything that the Romans and the Greeks did that was this twisted. Take Caligula, he was a piker. He had no idea what evil was to come. He didn't know how to build a ballroom by tearing down the East Wing. He had no clue as to how far afield Donald Trump and his thought police have gone. And then you get a complete tool like Tulsi Gabbard, who cannot manage the job that she's been given.
She can't manage the English language.
True enough.
Never mind the job she's been given. You know, that's the thing is they all think that they're so fucking smart.
And they're so abjectly ignorant. So
They all
obviously,
think that they've been infected with the idea that they're put because they followed their leader for so long that they're all thinking that they put something over on the American people.
we got them right where
And
we want them.
and there's a certain amount that they have. But I still gotta believe, Michael, that there's a bigger amount of people that they haven't yet. That are
That's
gonna
strange.
wake up.
Well, how did we get here if that's the case?
Well, you know, those are the legions of people that you see standing at gas pumps with a razor blade, scraping off that Trump sticker from their pickup truck and trying to trade it in on a gas efficient car.
Yo, Vinny, what are you driving this week?
What am I driving this week? Michael, I can't believe you asked. Because
I know.
believe it or not, believe it or not, Michael, look at this baby. Speaking about gas inefficient vehicles, is that about as big and blue as you could possibly get?
It's the big blue. A Toyota what?
That is a Toyota Sequoia 3-row honking big SUV that it's a TRD Pro, which means that it has been fitted with a more off-road centered suspension, a twin turbo engine, special tires, special wheels, special interior, special gearing, a roof rack that you can put a tent on top of and open it up and camp on it, a camera system and a drive system that will enable you to go up any hill. And then, Michael, something that you should always check for when you buy a vehicle.
Karaoke.
No, get one that will take you down that hill that you went up. Very important to get down the hill. It also has, and this is one of the things that we don't see on cars these days that I love. But you see this back window, Michael?
Yeah.
Look at this. This is going to make you extremely happy. You press that button, and that back window opens up.
Wow.
So you don't have to open the whole tailgate. You can just reach in there and take out what you want to take out. It's a stunning piece of engineering. It is a hybrid, so it's not a full gas vehicle. It has a gasoline twin turbo engine, as I said, and that is married up to a hybrid battery powered motor. And between the two of them, a vehicle like this that you used to get probably in the old days, 6 or 7 miles to a gallon. I remember some of those big honking ones that we drove over to Pullman on the highway there out 26 would get you, I don't know, 5 miles to the gallon. Well, the Sequoia TRD Pro so far has delivered me over 16 miles to the gallon. So you're getting a pretty damn good buy. If you're going to have to use gasoline, it's going to use less of the gasoline. And it's also going to give you a feeling, as you see, with all of the stuff on there, that this vehicle is big, it's comfortable. You can't miss it coming down the street, especially in that new for 2026 color.
Yeah, that's a nice turquoise.
Yeah, you don't miss this car coming down the street. I had a cop yesterday pull up next to me and put his window down, and I figured, what am I going to get pulled over for? and he wanted to know about the color. He liked the color. He was enthralled with it. And so this vehicle does, for Toyota, it's a vehicle that is, it's just a vehicle that is going to go anywhere and do anything. If you are an overlander, if you are somebody that wants to get off the road, that wants to get away from it all, you want to get to a place where nobody can get you, which more and more people want to do these days, Michael.
I think with good reason.
Yeah, I think people, I remember you used to kid me when I would go up out to Darrington and go up to the top of the mountain there and sit there and have my lunch because I was away. I couldn't get reached by cell phone or this or that or the other thing. Well, all right, now we have cell phones that are satellite cell phones. But the bottom line is you can take this vehicle and you can go far away from everybody. And you can get away from it. And I think this is something that more and more people are going to want to do in the near future. Now, it's an expensive.
I was thinking it's expensive to operate and it's expensive to purchase.
Yeah. This particular vehicle is Sequoia TRD Pro. Isn't going to get you out of the dealer showroom for much less than $85,000 to $90,000. But to be fair, it's a complete package.
Well, I would think it needs to be at 90 grand.
Well, I mean, I've seen cars that are 90 grand and are in a complete package. They still need to have stuff done to them.
That's an unfortunate combination.
Yeah, but this vehicle, I can tell you that you will get into it and say, I want to go to to Idaho or to Montana, and I want to get off the road, and I want to go from Montana to Chicago without hitting the interstate, without hitting, the different major highways. And this car will do it for you. You can sleep in it. You can eat in it.
You can take it to the Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah, you could probably take this thing through the Strait of Hormuz.
Well, tomorrow, 11 o'clock, we're going to hear
through the Strait of Hormuz.
Tomorrow, 11 o'clock, we'll hear more about this. We'll hear more about the gas shortage. We'll hear more about drive time topics.
Yes, we will. We will do that. I just want to check one quick thing, Michael, before we go, because it's coming across my desk, and I don't believe anything that I see on the internet. So,
you believe that Chuck Norris is dead?
You know what? I just saw that Chuck Norris passed away. Guy who was a martial arts master, kickboxing, but in later years, all you see really is
he became a Kid Rock joke.
Yeah, and you see his bad commercials for some kind of supplements that he's pushing. So I don't know. I just want to say something. Somebody just sent me a note here saying that, and this is from West Cruise 3878. And this is the stuff that you put up with the internet. The Holland Tunnel had a major breach, millions of gallons of water heading inside the tunnel. I'm just looking at the live camera feed of the Holland Tunnel. Do you think I was a fucking idiot and I didn't have the Holland Tunnel camera somewhere on my computer?
So a falsehood has been perpetrated on the good American people.
Yeah. Somebody is trying to, I guess, trick us into saying that the Holland Tunnel is closed. Well, first of all, we're on the other side of the country. 3 hours ago, there was a disabled vehicle in the Holland Tunnel. It has been cleared. All lanes are open. Respect residual delays. And that is from the Port Authority of New Jersey and New York Twitter feed. So there you
Good
go.
job.
We
Debunked.
Well, Michael, it's not out of the realm of possibility that something like this could happen. But
No, because Kash Patel has fired all the authorities on the groups that would mount a offensive against the United States and its innocent citizens. Those people have all been dismissed. We don't need them. We don't want them. We don't want them in the FBI. We don't want them trailing the Iranian evildoers. None of that.
is he going to be able to get on one knee and pray to Jesus? Because Cash, I don't think is.
He's not that knee. Maybe the other knee, but that knee that you're referring to is sore. He heard it in Italy during the Olympics, slipping in the beer.
Okay, well, I just because I know that Cash is. I don't know that he's a Christian. I don't know that he prays to Jesus Christ every night.
I don't think so. And plus, he looks like a startled raccoon. You have to admit that.
Yeah, he's got that one eye going one way, one eye going the other way. He looks like what we used to call in the hood, shingada, cockeyed. I know it's not politically correct to say that, but listen, as long as we're going to hell in a handbasket, I may as well take full advantage of it. And all right, what do you got this weekend, pal? Anything?
I got baseball. The Phillies, Bo's team, will be playing the Mets Saturday, tomorrow, at I think 11:30, and I'm not going to miss that.
Michael, what do you?
I got to drive. I got to drive to Woodland Hills to take it in. Kristen and I will be burning gas at an alarming rate, going through the San Fernando Valley.
Well, you tell that young man that his uncle Vinnie is going to make an exception, and this is probably the only time you'll ever hear me say this, but I'll be rooting for his team.
Well, how do you think I feel rooting for the Phillies?
Yeah, no, I know. No, I know. It's Little League presents us with these problems, unfortunately, in our lives, and as grandparents, parents, uncles, fathers, brothers, sisters, mothers, the whole Soul Train thing. We're faced with these, and we have to adjust to them as best we can. The sign of a good president is a good parent, or a good guardian, or good relative is when you can put those sports allegiances behind you and root for that young man or young woman who will find immense happiness and validation at a young age if they can get past the other team.
And my voice carries, so I shout out, "Hey, Boaster, you're the toaster." And he likes that. He likes that.
I like that. Hey, Boaster, you're the toaster.
He stands up there like, damn, I can't think of his name. Who was the redheaded Grand Orange?
Oh, Rusty Stomp.
Thank you. Stands up there like Rusty Stomp and hits the damn ball.
If you can go through your life and people equate your name to Rusty Staub, my friend, you have achieved success.
Yes. Then you have a good show tomorrow at 11 o'clock. I encourage everyone to tune in and catch the drive time for this weekend, 11 o'clock mañana.
And catch Ray with me tomorrow. It'll be great. And good luck at the game tomorrow. Please give the young man my best, and tell him to let's get two.
I'll tell him Uncle Vinny's involved.
Uncle Vinny is rooting for him. All right, Mikey. I'll see you on Monday if the Lord's willing. The creek don't rise, pal.
See you then.
All right. Peace, love, and Manischewitz.
It's a wine. Check it out. You can look it up.
You can look it up. See you, Mikey. Take care. Thank you all for listening. We always appreciate your time.